I have a addiction. Every night, I hear my cousin Lily and her boyfriend Marcus being close. Gradually, I started fantasizing about Marcus touching me, until one time when I went back to Lily's hometown with her, the train was shaking violently. Marcus accidentally ended up on top of me. On New Year's Eve, Lily invited me to go back to her hometown with her. When we got to the station, I found out her boyfriend was coming along too to meet her parents. My mouth fell open slightly. Her boyfriend was 6'3" and his muscular physique was hard to miss. When he saw me, he looked me up and down too. The gray shorts he wore showed an obvious change in certain areas. He greeted me, but his eyes were glued to my cleavage. I've always developed early, and today I was wearing a V-neck shirt. The line on my chest was like a bottomless valley. I was also wearing a short skirt, one slight bend and you could see everything underneath. He stood behind me, and I could feel his burning gaze. It hit me later. With his height, he probably saw everything. I instinctively tugged at my shirt and skirt, my face burning red. He casually looked away and offered to go buy some snacks for the trip. Watching him walk away, I couldn't help teasing Lily. I heard personal trainers are amazing in bed. Is that true? Lily smiled mysteriously, her face flushed. Of course it's true. Every time he leaves me with sore legs and an aching back. He's as thick as my arm down there. I gasped. Oh my god, that must feel incredible, right? If I could experience it just once. I couldn't help looking in her boyfriend's direction. When he walked, you could see it swinging in his pants. They say a guy's thing can expand 3 times its size. I secretly measured it with my hand and instantly felt weak in the knees. That big? What would it feel like if it went inside? Lily had told me before that her boyfriend had a huge appetite, at least 6 or 7 times a day. No wonder Lily always looked so glowing whenever I saw her. She was clearly being well taken care of. While I was lost in thought, Lily leaned over and winked at me. You're still a virgin, right? Want to try it? My breathing quickened. I bit my lip, feeling guilty. Lily, stop teasing me. When I looked up, I caught Marcus's eyes flashing with interest when he heard Lily say I was a virgin. Finally, we got on the train. Lily had bought tickets for a sleeper car. There were only the 3 of us in this compartment, with a curtain at the entrance for privacy. She and Marcus were lying on the bunk across from me. Lily was on her phone, leaning against him while his hands roamed freely over her chest. Watching made my face flush and my heart race. I could only awkwardly scroll through my phone, but my eyes kept drifting back to them. Lily was wearing a tight purple dress today that showed off her perfect figure. 10 minutes passed, and I'd already seen Marcus slip his hand between Lily's legs several times. When his fingers came out, they were wet and sticky. Lily's face was flushed as she whispered coyly, "Claire's still here." It was evening now, and most people on the train were asleep. The conductor had dimmed the lights to their lowest setting, and Lily actually straddled Marcus's waist and started making out with him. I licked my lips, my imagination running wild. Before I knew it, I'd fallen asleep. I don't know how long I slept before Lily's voice woke me. I opened my eyes. For some reason, the lights in the car were back on. Lily winked at me playfully. "Claire, are you hungry? Could you go to the dining car and get 3 meals for us?" Seeing the tent pitched high between his legs, I understood why. I quickly answered, "Sure." The moment I left the compartment, I heard Lily's moans from behind me. To give them privacy, I deliberately stayed in the dining car to finish eating before heading back. But when I pulled back the curtain, I saw Lily still riding on top of Marcus. They were too absorbed to notice me outside the compartment. I quietly stepped back, but I couldn't help peeking from outside the car. Watching that shameful scene, my mouth fell open. They could even do it in that position. I felt my body go weak as I leaned against the wall, rubbing my thighs together to their rhythm. After about 15 minutes, I heard the sounds inside finally stop. The moment I walked in, my foot slipped and all the meal boxes in my hands spilled onto my bunk. A strong, powerful arm caught me. I looked up and saw his sausage and meatballs swinging right in front of my face. My face turned bright red. Lily rushed over to comfort me. "It's okay. You can sleep with us. We're almost there anyway." "What?" My heart jumped, but thinking of that huge sausage, I felt oddly excited. Lily leaned close to me. Her body smelled faintly of sex. "Marcus and I have a double bunk. It's big enough for 3 people." Looking at my bunk covered in greasy food, I bit my lip. Okay then. I originally wanted to sleep on the outside next to Lily, but she said she and Marcus both got hot easily and wanted me to sleep in the middle. I had no choice but to agree. Marcus was tall with well-developed muscles. After the 3 of us lay down, I realized how cramped the middle position was. I was lying with my back to Marcus. His chest muscles kept rubbing against my back as the train swayed. This contact made my inexperienced body gradually heat up. I'd been so busy with work these years, I'd never had a boyfriend. This was my first time being this close to a guy. Lily must have been tired from earlier because she fell asleep shortly after lying down. Marcus was still on his phone though. I'd hoped to chat with Lily. Now I was just stuck in the middle, unable to move. My body started heating up for some reason. My face was burning red. The train suddenly lurched, forcing me to roll over and face Marcus. But he was so tall that my head only reached his massive chest. The next second, something hard and burning pressed against my lower abdomen. Could this be? I couldn't help swallowing, suppressing my excitement as I tried to shift positions. But then I heard a deep groan from above me. That sound full of masculine hormones made my ears turn bright red instantly. "Sorry." I coughed softly and glanced back at Lily. She was sound asleep. When I looked up, Marcus's face was flushed. He shook his head. "It's fine. The train's just shaking too much. I'll move further in." He shifted his body, his rod intentionally or unintentionally rubbing against my inner thigh. My mouth went dry as I rolled over. I felt heat flowing beneath me. That size. I didn't even dare imagine it. I couldn't help squeezing my thighs together. It felt slightly better. Just as I'd put some distance between myself and Marcus, the train entered a tunnel and shook violently. I was rocking back and forth, my body sliding uncontrollably toward him. Before long, I felt my entire butt land in his lap. I instinctively twisted my hips. Oh my god. I was wearing a short skirt, and now it had ridden up almost to my waist. His hand was somehow on my waist, his breathing heavy, like he was holding something back. Another jolt, and I couldn't control myself as I bounced against him, letting out a suggestive moan. Luckily, the train whistle blew right then, or else. My face red, I instinctively looked back at Marcus. He was licking his lips, his eyes dark with desire. My voice was awkward. This train sure shakes a lot. I nervously scooted toward Lily, pretending not to notice that Marcus's big friend was now pressed against my lower back. My whole body was soaked through. A faint smell of sweat filled my nostrils, adding to the tension. I bit my lip. To ease the awkwardness, I could only pretend to close my eyes and sleep. Even though my eyes were closed, my insides were burning with heat. I couldn't stop my mind from replaying those shameful images. What Lily said was actually true. Marcus really was as thick as an arm down there. The train stopped at several more stations. The adjacent cars had emptied out. Only the three of us were left. Lily got up for a drink of water, then fell back asleep. I was just wondering if I should go sleep in the next car when the train started moving again. With all the swaying, I couldn't get up from the bunk. I had no choice but to press my lips together and keep lying between them. Now Marcus and I were facing each other. In the dim light, I could clearly see the flush on his face. He was absorbed in his phone. I glanced casually at the window reflection and saw that he was watching that kind of content on his phone. I instantly felt ashamed and embarrassed. I quickly rolled over to look away, but my body was inexplicably burning up. To avoid awkwardness, I just pretended to sleep. But soon the train started shaking again. I gripped the handrail above my head tightly, but my heart was pounding faster and faster. Just then, a violent jolt threw my entire body on top of Marcus. He let out a deep groan, his voice hoarse. My chest was pressed tightly against his. In my panic, my hand grabbed onto a certain area. To avoid the awkwardness of opening my eyes, I just kept them closed and pretended to be asleep. Behind me, Lily's breathing was steady. She didn't seem disturbed. I stayed in that position, pressed against Marcus. But what I didn't expect was that his hand suddenly moved toward my